hier op die 625? Ek sien daar is hy nou terug op Zoom.
Hello? Chat, can you hear me? Hello? Genial.
Chad, can you hear me? Your microphone is still muted on your side, Chad.
I don't know why. Okay, can you hear me now, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know why my microphone went into mute. It might have been because of that damn reboot. Okay. I'm going to mute you, Adrian, and then I want to check with Nico. Nico, can you hear me? Let's see which one.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, so there you unmuted. It gets very difficult with the background noise on Zoom, so I've got to control whose mics are open. Nico, Adrian said you got a question. Do you want to go ahead?
Yes, I just want to know, since I'm now new on this, how does the training schedule for next year go? Is there any list or something of program you're going to receive from you?
All right, just stand by. Neil, have you got any questions in terms of this question of Nico's?
No, I've got no questions at the moment. Just listening in.
All right, good stuff. Neil, I'm going to mute you so that it doesn't interfere with the mics again. Everybody is muted. Zoom does make it a bit slow like that, unfortunately. All right, now that I've got you two guys in particular on Zoom, Nico, you have joined CERT, and Neil, I don't think you signed up as yet. So I need to be clear with regards to what it is that we are doing with the net on a Sunday. The net on a Sunday at 17:30 is specifically designed for radio amateurs. It's open to everybody. Now that net, there's no specific training on a week-to-week basis or on a monthly basis. It is a general net. And what I do is during the course of a given week, if any of the guys that normally call in or any of the other radio amateurs communicate with me via radio or via WhatsApp, and there's specific questions that they want to have answered. And Adrian, I think I'm going to use what happened tonight as an example with the pro word or the phrase "with traffic." I think Nico and Neil, you guys, or Nico, you might have lost it because Zoom was down. But part of the pro words or procedures of using the phrase "with traffic," it actually means that that station has got an actual emergency. Whereas you could be using other phrases like "with info," just to say that you've got information. It gives the net controller an opportunity to know who and what to prioritize. So what my plan was, and Adrian will bear me out, I did initially say I need to confirm whether it is with traffic or with info. And I decided at that point that perhaps I should go back to procedures next week, Sunday. So the on-air net on a Sundays doesn't have anything specific as such. With regards to CERT training, for the remainder of this year, we're not going to be doing any specific training as such. The new members that do sign up now are encouraged, once they've registered as a volunteer on the CERT portal, is to definitely read through the issued policies and to read through each and every single one of them so that they get a good understanding of what CERT is all about. Now, Nico, to answer your question, during the course of next year, we will look at providing or arranging specific training sessions that will cover things like the first aid and the firefighting. Those two in particular will be done through other training centers, and it will depend on the number of interested persons. As CERT, we are not registered to do training in first aid or on fire. And in order to have a special class arranged for weekend studies, I need a minimum of 10 people. So I find out when there is a gap in the schedule for a Saturday and Sunday training, put it out to the CERT members to see if we can get 10 members. And this is where it does become a little bit difficult, because a lot of the members don't want to do first aid, and a lot of, or not members, the volunteers. A lot of the volunteers don't want to do firefighting. So there's very few people that actually come up, which is why I encourage all of the guys to spread the word and to try and bring in additional outsiders to make up a class. In doing that, it also gives us the opportunity to grow the CERT volunteer network in general. 2 other training programs that definitely will be undertaken, there'll probably be 2 sessions during the course next year. The one will be a definite induction to CERT. I'm busy writing that training manual at the moment. Unfortunately, work commitments are delaying me, and 1 or 2 other problematic areas have kicked in. So I'm finding it very difficult to try and get the manual completed by the end of the year. The second one will be emergency communications, basic emergency communication training. What CERT has done, MCOM Assist CERT has done on that aspect, is we have published a book which was written by Rory, ZS6RBJ, and here it is. This manual is available at this moment in time at the cost of 150 Rand. You guys are more than welcome to purchase it, as long as you collect it from me. Otherwise, it's going to be courier costs. There is already an online examination for this training module. Now, the book is designed not for radio amateurs at all. It is designed for what I term the MITs, or the man in the street. That's somebody that has got 0 radio knowledge, not a radio amateur, because to be quite honest with you, the radio amateurs have got a mindset of their own that has got absolutely, and now I know that I'm recording this video, this has already become a training session of its own accord, so it is something that I will probably make available on the CERT website. But the amateur radio mentality has got absolutely fuck all to do with emergency communication. That's the bottom line. And I have discovered 4 years ago that radio amateurs think that they know it all, but they don't, and it becomes a problem, which is why this year we decided to do the basic communications course, which will help radio amateurs and most definitely help the man in the street. During the course of 2020, we will be writing and publishing an advanced radio communications course. The advanced comms course will basically cover the deployment of field stations, for one thing, specifically in terms of MCOM, not in terms of competitions, not in terms of CW or QRP or anything along those lines, but specifically field stations for emergency communication purposes. Nico, if I could have had more of the interested parties on Zoom tonight, it would have been beneficial for a lot of the new guys and those that are interested as well. Because CERT is not a radio amateur entity at all. CERT has got nothing to do with radio amateurs. Radio amateurs are more than welcome to join CERT. Neil, I know you haven't signed up. I'm trying to encourage you to come on board so that we can start building the teams, especially seeing as you guys are out on the East Rand. I'd like you to get more involved with John out that side without commitment of having to be on duty like for 4 8 hours a week or anything ridiculous. but maybe a quick call-in during the course of the week, etc., and definitely to undergo certain training programs. So the advanced radio comms course will be for the MITs again as well, but it will be beneficial for radio amateurs. During the process of writing these manuals, then the examinations will be made available online. Even now, if you guys send me your email address, I can set up an account for you, send you the information. You're more than welcome to go and write the existing ECA Charlie 2001 exam, which is the basic radio comms, and see how you fare. So coming back to Nico's question about training, no specific schedule as yet. We will see which way we move in January. Nico, your response. Unmute me.
Well, thank you for that response. So yeah, I will be waiting for well, I think the first one will be first aid and fire training, which I think I will be joining, and so that should be beneficial for that. And then yeah, you spoke earlier about you're going to get a drone. Have you received it yet?
No, it hasn't arrived yet. I'm hoping to see it sometime during the course of this week.
Okay, so how are you going to use it for search purposes, or is this basically just private use only?
Well, you know, one great thing about having only launched CERT in the last 12 months is there's a lot of preparation work that needs to be done. So you heard Adrian and I talking about Arduinos, and the conversation was actually around an alarm system. But we are having discussions about other aspects as well that need to be developed for CERT purposes. So the drone, okay, let me put it to you guys this way. Neil, I'm going to come to you in a minute. Let me put it to you this way. From CERT's perspective, besides first aid and firefighting, the induction manual I'm hoping to have finished by the end of the year, which means I can actually print and publish in January. But I've also got to do the disaster area assessment or damage assessment training manual. That one is going to depend on certain procedures that are implemented, and we can only implement the procedures when the database development has been completed, which is what John is currently working on. Then there's a couple of other aspects that Adrian and myself are discussing, and John will probably be involved in that one as well. So the drone aspect is another area that needs to be developed. And I think it should suffice to say that the use of the drone, depending on the type of drone, a lot will depend on the amount of flight time that we've got. So drone usage definitely will and can play a role in assessment of damaged areas. And what I need to do is I need to find these guys with specific skills. So people that might have their drone pilot license, for example, we need to understand the legalities of the utilization of drones before we actually deploy them. So all of these aspects need to come together. And I can't do it all by myself and of my own accord. I need volunteers to come forward and to give their input and to discuss and to, what is the word I'm looking for? Contribute to an overall CERT plan. Nico, does that answer your question? Let me just unmute you.
Speaker for, you don't have a speaker yet for the drone thing then yet. Do you need any advice on that, or assistance as finding a speaker?
Just say that again. I missed your first part because I had you muted.
I say, do you have any speaker on that topic yet, as yet?
Not as yet.
Okay, I think I might know someone that used to live in Durban that had a drone license. Obviously, he immigrated now to New Zealand. So I'll ask him if he has any input onto that topic. Maybe he knows someone that can contact you directly.
Yeah, you can give him my WhatsApp number and he can have a chat with me, because my goal with training for CERT is twofold. Some of the training we can do on Zoom, but other training we will have to go to other venues.
Yeah.
Like the shooting range, which Adrian has said we can make use of if we talk nicely to him. So I do try and talk nicely to him. So there's a nice big open area that we can utilize. But then, you know, we need to have various people coming in to make it worthwhile at the end of the day. Okay, Nico, let me check with Neil. Neil, I'm sure is feeling a little bit left out there. Neil, your turn. I'm unmuting you.
Okay. You said that I'm not a member of CERT yet, but on the 27th of November, I received the email from a Yuan Groom that says, welcome to CERT, and you've been accepted as a candidate volunteer.
Okay, that's why I was trying to get to my website, because in the last 2 weeks, I have spoken to probably about 10 different people. Oh man, I don't know what's going on here. My web pages don't want to open up. The Sophos firewall's giving me uphill. Okay, last log on. There we go. Let's have a look. Neil, W-H-Y. Neil, you are registered, correct. And who was the other one? Now, look here, my dates are out of order. Last login dates. Try you again. Okay, Nico, you also registered. Neil, you are registered. So forgive me, as I said at the beginning, I need to learn your new call signs, and I need to check the database before I actually say you haven't. So both of you are CERT members. So this entire conversation this afternoon does actually apply to both of you. Neil, are there any questions from your side? While we are here now, let's try and cover some of the questions. Neil?
At the moment, I've got no questions.
Okay, I've got a question for you. What areas of training are you interested in?
At the moment, I'm interested in the communications part of it. I'm not sure if I'm that interested in firefighting or medical at the moment, but I'm still thinking about that.
Okay. Is there any reason why you wouldn't be interested in those areas?
Just haven't thought about helping out in those areas yet.
Okay, because some people don't like the sight of blood, which is why I asked the question. All right, so you specifically on the comms side. Neil, let's have a look at what Nico has to say. Nico, I'm not too sure which, both your microphones are there. Okay, Nico, what areas of training are you looking at specifically?
Well, I think at this stage it is medical aid. I've already said I will do the firefighting one, and then obviously the communications one as well. And then if the drone thing comes up, then I'll take a look at that.
All right.
At this stage.
I just want to open your profile up. Yeah, there we go. I was also busy with the 40 meg upload, which tends to slow me down. Let's have a look at your profile quickly. The other one that you, by the way, Nico, did John make contact with you on the scuba diving?
No, he hasn't yet, as yet. So if you can make communications with me, that would be great. Then we can discuss a few things.
Okay, guys, don't be shy now. Hey, you're both on the ECRN group.
Yeah.
So just send a message out on the group there. John, you were supposed to contact me regarding scuba diving.
We'll do so. I will send him
Then,
WhatsApp on that.
then that way it will remind him. I know he's also been extremely busy this last week.
Okay.
I'm checking that you guys are on all of the groups, and it wasn't me, I can assure you.
Sure.
All right, yeah, you guys are on the groups. All right, if you got any questions, Neil, Nico, any questions at all, whether you do it on the CERT volunteers group, if it's CERT related, try and keep it on the CERT volunteer group. If it is of a general nature, then please feel to put it out on the ECRN group. Ask the question, don't be shy, somebody will come back to you, somebody will have input, if they do take you onto a private message. Any other questions? Adrian, anything from your side?
And no, it was interesting on that, just to come back on that with traffic story. I did not anticipate that with traffic was at such a high level of importance, and it should have been with info. I agree with you.
Yeah, now look, you know, a lot of the guys do get confused with it. Those of us that operated on CB, we had a break to indicate we had an emergency. But if we wanted to interrupt a conversation, we used a single break, which is where the phrase, the breaker go ahead, or we have a breaker. The Cannonball Run, breaker 19, breaker 19, I think that made it pretty clear. On amateur radio, people tend to think that break and break are two different things. I mean, of one and the same. So it does become a little bit difficult. But when you get onto the MCOM side, then it's with traffic or without traffic, which is where I prefer on a Sunday that everybody calls in with their call sign and states whether they have or have not got traffic. Neil and
okay, yeah. Having said that, I thought that was that if you have something more to say than just hello. That's how I interpreted it, and my interpretation is obviously wrong.
I think we need to re-examine a couple of radio amateurs, Adrian. I want to just have a look at something here. If I haven't put it up, for the benefit of Nico and Neil, guys, please have a look at the documents of interest. There's a lot of documents that are full of useful information. All right, it looks like the text file that I had wasn't there, no, but under the documents folder, or the document library, I've got a link that says watch the YouTube videos listed in this file. It's a text file that contains two specific videos. One of them gives the the overall or the generalized procedure for MCOM purposes quite clearly. It's quite a lengthy video, but I do encourage you to go and have a look at it. So let's hear. Nico, any comments? If I can unmute you there.
This stage, I think you've answered most of my questions at this stage. If I have any other questions, I will study during the week on WhatsApp, or I'll wait for Sunday. Thank you.
All right, so spend a bit of time this week, guys. Go through the documents folder. Definitely go through the issued policy directives. But I want to ask the two of you now, what radio equipment have you got up, Nico?
At this stage, I'm going to get myself a DMR just to get up on the air, so that at least I can communicate to you guys. As
All
far
right.
as the third thing goes.
When are you going to move ahead with that?
That will be in December, so it's pretty soon.
Okay, cool. And of course, Neil, you coming up quite clearly. I must admit, Neil, you got a nice signal coming through that.
The equipment I've got at the moment is I've got that Anytone dual band VHF UHF radio, and then I've also got a Yaesu FT757GX radio for the HF signals.
All right, yeah, no, but you do come through well, eh? Nico, send a message out on that, on the CERT volunteers only, the CERT volunteers group, and let John have a look at it so that I can remind him tomorrow. It's the CERT volunteers only group. You guys can post and comment on there. I don't think I've got you on the info groups.
Chad, you have a question when you're done there about the website, okay?
Okay, go for it, Adrian.
Chad, okay. Forgot my password to get into the CERT website, and I'm trying to reset it, and it says it sends me a mail, but nothing is happening at all. I don't know if your processes are working perfectly on the reset password side.
Are you on a Gmail account?
Agreed. Yes.
Check your spam filters.
Mm-hmm. No, nothing landed up in spam either. But we can handle it later on, Chad. It's not necessary to keep the other guys all on this issue. So I'll stand back a little bit on that one. I'll fix it when Nico and the other guys has done their thing.
All right, well, I'll have a look at this, and I'll use your profile test and debug quickly if need be, because I could have sworn that was working. So you've got your email address in the same email address in twice. I will test that now. All right, Nico and Neil, anything else from your side, guys?
No, nothing from my side.
Nothing from my side as well. I think I'm done for this week. Thank you, Chad.
Okay, cool. Then we'll chat during the week, eh? Don't be shy. You can ask anytime, and we'll try and answer you. Adrian, just get your password reset and let me see if it comes through yet.
I've just done it, Chad. It says an email has to be sent to the registered email address. for ADR SNY, and then but nothing arrives at my side. So I wonder if your mail is not blocking, if something is not blocking the outgoing mail on your side.
No, it might have been the move to the new server. We'll have a look at it. Guys, if you want to bail out, that's fine. Adrian and I can go on here. If you do pick up errors on the site, please let me know, and then I can always have a look to see what's going on. Adrian, I think I know what happened, dude.
Yes.
It's one of the modules I didn't update.
Okay, not a problem. But I can't log in. I forgot my password.
Yeah, okay, but if you give me 2 minutes, I will
not a problem.
I will update. Let's see, the to address is that from no. The name
You can probably stop the recording as well.
Okay, the guys did drop off.